Hello everyone, welcome back to Blackjack. I'm Blackjack Gaviani, and today we are going to be watching Darth Vader versus Obito Uchiha, Star Wars versus Naruto, Death Battle! Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to have to pause a couple times because I got chili on the stove and I need to stir it.
Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah!
Uchiha, secret leader of the Akatsuki.
I'm going to assume, yeah! I've never seen Naruto.
Long enough to become a villain.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A death battle! Yeah!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, we know the drill by now.
The fist of the Galactic Empire ruled everything.
All thanks to the super powerful super murderer Darth Vader.
Well, not
Beneath
all
his
thanks.
spooky mask lay the husk of former nice guy Anakin Skywalker.
As a child among the harsh wastes of Tatooine, Anakin.
Okay, 6'7" in armor, 300 pounds in armor. You would think the armor would be just extraordinarily heavy, but I guess it's mostly, well, I don't know what it's supposed to be in universe, but like it's mostly to us a plastic shell, right? 46 years old, chosen one of Jedi prophecy. I've heard really good things about Asuka Tano. I've heard she's a really good character. I have never seen her in anything, but I've heard she's like one of the best parts of Star Wars. And dislikes Jedi himself and sand. Yeah.
Lucky for him, he met Qui-Gon Jinn.
He's so
a Jedi
around.
Who believed little Annie was the chosen one and would bring balance to the Force. No pressure, right? So he took him under his wing to become the papa he never had. Or so was the plan. Until... yeah.
Instead, Qui-Gon's apprentice.
What's the source of that
became
scream
Anakin's
sound
mentor.
effect
But while
anyway?
Anakin sought a father figure, Obi-Wan saw him as more of a brother.
I'm sure that won't cause any awkward tension whatsoever.
Drama and trauma aside, Anakin quickly became a powerful Jedi. He
Sith alchemy? So like in the sense of like turning an element into another element? Barriers, enhances special probing, mind control, precognition, Sith alchemy, telekinesis, telepathy, and I'm gonna assume they're gonna
excelled
explain
in
that
lightsaber
last one.
combat and the Force, an energy field that binds all living things together.
The
Nice,
Force
nice.
lets Jedi move stuff with their mind, fend off mental attacks, predict the future, and make people believe these aren't the droids they're looking for. They're basically space wizards.
Through rigorous
Yeah.
training and a not unnoticed
Okay, both Legends and Disney canons have been inspected for a thorough understanding of Vader's potential, though the current canon takes precedent. I always thought it was weird that they just said everything is non-canon. Why don't they just say this is a different timeline? Let's see, he would make he's a Padawan that would make any master proud when he actually listens, at least.
natural talent. Anakin was particularly skilled.
Okay,
in
I
the
know
4
her name
and
is
5
like
lightsaber
Asajj
fighting
Ventress
styles,
or
Shin
something.
and Jem So.
Also known as the Way of the Crate Dragon. You know that big sand dragon Mando blew up from the inside? Yeah,
No.
make that a lightsaber.
Form 5 is incredibly versatile, well suited for defending against lightsaber and blaster alike.
Nice,
It focuses
nice.
on blending parries with devastating counterattacks, aiming to win duels through overwhelming pressure.
Perfect for the Padawan who just bulldozed his way through training to become a Jedi Knight.
Even
Cool.
as a newly trained Jedi, Anakin could keep up with some of the most experienced Jedi Masters and Sith Lords of his time.
But he had plenty of other problems to deal with, like his late-blooming rebellious teenage angst. I mean, you don't just throw a kid into space monk school and expect him to forget everyone he ever cared about, right?
They never did free his
Apparently
mom, and
that's
she
what he
got
was
killed.
supposed to
So
The life of a Jedi can be difficult and cold, something Anakin could not accept. And so, rather than let his secret wife die in childbirth, he was seduced to the dark side through the promise of power.
And so
could have
began
just,
his
you know,
Jedi kill streak
talked to the
until Obi-Wan
hospital,
gave him a
like, I
glorious
fear
lava
for her
bath.
health.
How refreshing.
But thanks to his new Sith Master Palpatine, our young warrior was sick.
I know there's the theory that, like, Palpatine is actually the one that killed her because he, like, pushed her grief over the edge until she died of heartbreak.
Reborn, rebuilt. He was now Darth Vader.
You guys really need to
Vader is
read
a
the webcomic
badass.
Darths and
Everyone knows
Droids.
it,
It's
and
really
they're
fun. It's
terrified
it's taking all of Star Wars chronologically. Well, it doesn't do Clone Wars, but you know, like the movies anyway, as well as some side things like the Muppet Show episode for some reason. But they make a cohesive plot in like an alternate universe where Star Wars is a tabletop campaign being played by a handful of nerds. And the great thing is that you follow their stories too. Like, one of the characters starts off as a little kid. It's like, I brought my little sister because I had to babysit. Let her roll up a character. It won't take long. And, like, now she's in college and she's an actress and stuff. It's really interesting.
I mean, just look at the guy.
As impressive as his armor appears, you might be surprised.
And also
by
it makes you like Jar Jar.
See, while the Jedi view the Force
It's
as an
incredible.
ally, the Sith see it as a tool from which they draw power through passion and emotion. Most potently, negative emotions. Palpatine trained Vader by not only making him believe he killed his wife, but also ensuring he would never forget the monstrous machine he had become.
By
Neat.
making the suit suck ass and piss him off. Seriously, Vader hates this suit.
The armor would beep at random times.
Okay. Darth Vader's armor-clad pressurized bodysuit is a self-contained life support system. The entire suit is lined with embedded circuitry that constantly monitors his pulmonary, respiratory, and neural activity, and provides electrical impulses to prevent his muscles from atrophying. Motorized servos that form the knuckles on his mechano hands provide him with crushing strength far beyond the human norm. Despite the benefits of such attributes, Vader's artificial limbs render him unable to conjure or repel Sith lightning. I see.
Just to annoy him, and the life support system was outdated from the start. Sometimes
Leaving
it
him
would
vulnerable
even
to the
turn
power
off
of
for
his
several
master.
minutes.
That doesn't seem good for someone with burnt up lungs.
And it was so
Yeah.
heavy and clunky that he could barely walk, sometimes even resorting to moving himself with the Force.
Oh man, I knew Palpatine was evil, but I never knew he was such a
I do.
Well, despite these issues, the armor fulfilled.
Okay.
I never knew he was such a dick.
Well, despite these issues.
Okay, Durasteel and obsidian? Like, volcanic glass obsidian? Vacuum sealed. His ship is loaded for bear. Kyber crystal stolen from Kirak Infala. I don't know who that is. Corrupted through anger and pain. So what happens? Because I know they said especially negative emotions that the Sith draw on. What happens if you have one who wants to channel positive emotions?
The armor fulfilled
I think
its
that'd be
true
really
purpose,
interesting.
crafting Darth Vader into the equivalent of a slasher movie villain commanding a
I
galactic
guess in a
army.
way that's kind of what
Nobody wants to
Luke
mess
ended
with
up
him.
as,
Thanks
right?
to the dark side of the Force, he can make maelstroms that blast everything away, form barriers
Is
that
he fight-
shield from
Hey,
all sorts. He can make
Hey,
maelstroms that blast everything
He's just fighting Zinnia right
away,
there.
form barriers that shield from all sorts of attacks, and choke anything that's even a minor inconvenience. Hell, sometimes
Why does he
gets
even
straight
need
to
increased
crushing your lungs.
One time,
Yeah.
a droid
Why does he need increased crushing strength in his hands if he could just, do that with his fist 5 feet away from you?
named I-5 tried to kill Vader with a laser.
I-5 suddenly whipped up his left hand, index finger extended, and fired a laser beam at Jax. The beam splashed off the ionized fire that suddenly coated the length of the blade, which Jax had automatically raised to block the beam. That's how, I-5 said. The speed of light is just under 300,000 kilometers per second. You are currently 7.3 meters from me. Your force-augmented anticipatory reflex action is obviously working fine. You just have to let it. Why is that my default robot voice now? I came up with it for fucking Ingo, of all people.
Stated to move 300,000 kilometers per second. That's light speed, and Vader easily blocked it.
And for as much bullshit
Luke Skywalker outsped Guri, who could process information within 6.1 picoseconds. Darth Vader should be just as capable. Alright.
Palpatine threw at him, Vader was tough
Process
enough and stubborn enough
information.
to push through it.
Palpatine knew that Vader would eventually try to kill him and take over the Empire.
Ah.
It's how the Sith work. So he constantly fanned Vader's hatred by sending assassins after him to make sure he was still
Oh,
worthy of
God!
being his apprentice.
Oh, that's nothing. One time, he blasted off most of Vader's robo-limbs, destroyed his armor, dropped him back on the lava planet, and told him to make his way back without the Force.
An impossible task.
Shit!
Vader accomplished.
Yeah, because he really...
Okay, Knows the most fearsome killer in the galaxy. Caught a freighter with the Force. First person to kill a Sando Aqua monster. Simultaneously controlled the son and the daughter. I'm assuming we're going to get information on that. Survived the planet exploding while on it. Great, he can fight Samus Aran and possibly win. Defeated Obi-Wan, Luke, Ventress, Reva, Count Dooku, and Grand Inquisitor. I don't know anything about Reva or Grand Inquisitor. I don't really know anything about Ventress other than what she looks like.
Really wants to kill Palpatine.
Yeah.
And that hatred is apparently useful in keeping Force wielders alive, and has sustained many Sith in conditions that would otherwise kill them.
I'm sorry,
Neat.
Liam Neeson. Should have hated a little more.
Vader has killed hundreds, possibly thousands of Jedi, including Obi-Wan himself. He's fought entire armies on his own.
Didn't
He's
Obi-Wan
taken on
kind of
monsters the size of
self-delete before
mountains.
Vader could actually
So
do it?
unstoppable, an assassin droid hired to kill him quit the job because he calculated that Vader was impossible to kill.
Nice.
Ewoks material from the old Legends canon, a real deep cut, we know. Lesser dark side users like the Night Sister Shiral overpowered
Okay,
the
hi,
Sith
Dad.
and ancient
Hi,
Order
I'm...
Or something, I'm not gonna interrupt.
Alright, fine.
capable of shifting moons. A feat which would require energy
Say hi to my dad,
12
everyone.
septillion tons of TNT.
Oh, that is a
24
large number.
zeros. But if you want something more recent, here's a planet blowing up while Vader was on it, and he's fine.
But thanks to both his incredible power and the mercy and trust of his
Wait, hang
subjects-
on. So, if the power of an exploding planet, and he's fine, what does that mean for when the Emperor fucked him up? Does that mean the Emperor has more solid force than an exploding planet? I mean, I know everyone wants Palpatine to fight Xehanort. Maybe we could find that out if they actually do that as a real episode. That'd be freaking amazing. We could definitely put that to the test, yeah? Or maybe it's just because it's more concentrated and not, exploding out in all directions. I don't know.
Vader would eventually avenge the atrocities of Palpatine. Even more important, he finally saved someone he loved. Ultimately,
Took him long
Anakin
enough.
Skywalker truly did bring balance to the Force. Hokage,
Okay, alright.
the leader of the hidden
I'm gonna
village, and the
pause it here because I have to go stir my chili. I will be right back. You will not notice that I'm gone other than a slight jump cut. Alright, hello, I am back. I have successfully stirred the chili.
strongest ninja, respected and loved by all. Though few have attained this title, many have strived for it.
One
Yeah,
such
that's how it
striver,
works.
sadly lacking in parents, wanted to both help people and be acknowledged by the rest of the village.
Yeah.
And what better way to do that than having your face carved into a mountain? If you think I'm talking about Naruto, guess again.
Yeah.
This is the story of Obito Uchiha.
Actually, last year I met Naruto's voice actress, the English one, at a convention. And I couldn't get her autograph because it was like $40. But I told her that I really loved her as Alexis Hilden in Valkyria Chronicles 2. And she said she didn't even remember that role.
Obito unfortunately lacked
Okay,
the natural
alright.
talent for
5'11", 155 pounds. Age 31. Yeah, okay, so he's got less experience. Yeah, this is Toby, Madara Uchiha. Well, we know who Madara is. He was in a previous fight. Lord Mizukage, trained by... I don't know who Minato Namikaze is because I haven't watched this show or read the manga. Leader of the Akatsuki. I know those are the guys in the black suits with the red clouds. Controlled the village hidden in the mist. Cool. Like,
martial arts
controlled it, or he was just like the mayor or whatever.
to his Uchiha bloodline.
So he signed up for ninja school and eventually joined a team with his rival Kakashi, his crush Rin, and their leader.
Oh, hey,
Minato.
it's Volkner.
Do you think I can get into a ninja school like that?
Not one that teaches you to harness this form of chakra, a limited form of
Okay, let's see. Together, those two forms of energy are what make up the chakras. Two, those of the mental... Oh, wait. It's the other way around. Chakras are, to put it simply, the energies that a shinobi requires in order to perform ninjutsu. Basically, those energies are 1. Those of the body drawn from each and every one of the approximately 13 trillion cells that are believed to make up the human body. Oh my gosh. Those of the mental and spiritual energy acquired over the course of much training and experience. Together, those two forms of energy are what make up the chakras. So it's both together.
Physical and spiritual energy that exists inside all human beings and, naturally, can be weaponized.
Of course it can.
Run up walls and make clones of himself, but even better, blow shit up.
This is ninjutsu.
Okay.
Among its many techniques.
Okay. Okay, fire, earth, wind, lightning, and water release. Lightning? How does that stack up with force lightning, though? Wood release. Chakra absorption. Substitution. Shadow clones. Shadow clones aren't going to affect Vader, though. He's just going to see right through it. Summoning demonic statue of the outer path. Interesting. You know what? They never did explain in Vader's thing what that father and daughter thing was. Regeneration and more of the tailed beasts.
Specialize in all things fire.
Big fireballs,
Okay.
small fireballs, waves of fire, columns of fire. You name it, they've got it. So when Ninja World War III came along, it totally made sense to get this fire ninja involved at the age of 11. Well, lucky for Obito, he had one more secret weapon up his sleeve, eye socket. The
Yeah.
Sharingan.
The Sharingan grants extreme.
Okay. Izanagi and Izanami? Those are the gods that churned the land out of the ocean with a spear, aren't they? I only know that because of Pokemon, because that's why it's called Spear Pillar. And I know they came up with another explanation for it in PLA, but the out-of-universe explanation of why it's called Spear Pillar is because it's supposed to represent the land stirred up with the spear. And although it does kind of lead to some uncomfortable implications about Dialga and Palkia. Really uncomfortable. Especially when you realize who Giratina is in that equation. Maybe you shouldn't look too far into it. Anyway, okay. Anyway, I don't know what the abilities named after them do. Increased perception, limited precognition. But then again, I guess Vader's is also limited, even though they didn't say that. Jutsu copying. So I think some of this is going to come down to if Vader's hate-based abilities, hate-based power, is going to be considered a jutsu. Because, you know, if they're drawing on their mental and physical power for this. Okay.
Allowing someone to see the flow of chakra, predict an enemy's attacks, cast a variety of genjutsu illusions, and even break out of said illusions.
Too bad he didn't get to use the red eyes much. Like 10 minutes after he got the damn things, he got smushed under a big rock.
Of course he
Way
did.
to go. But since he wasn't expecting to use his super eyes anymore, he handed one off to Kakashi, and then he died. The end. Just kidding.
Miraculously, Obito survived long enough to be rescued by another Uchiha, the legendary Madara. Madara granted Obito a new body, regenerating the limbs he'd lost.
Interesting.
Probably thinking, oh, what a swell guy. Except he was not. Madara was brewing some plans for world domination and needed a pawn to carry them out.
Awesome.
So he tricked Obito into watching Kakashi kill Rin, making him fall victim to the Uchiha's curse of hatred.
Within the Uchiha clan...
Okay, hang on. So did it actually happen, or was it an illusion? An Uchiha individual writhes in agony over the loss of a great love or disappointment in himself. A unique chakra gets released inside his or her brain and reacts with the optic nerves, and changes appear in that person's eyes.
Exists an ideal of being extremely devoted to love. It has been speculated that if a particularly powerful Uchiha loses someone important to them, that love will be replaced with an all-consuming hatred. This is how Obito
What if you have
awakened his
more than
Mangekyo
one person
Sharingan.
that important to
Or
you?
Red Eye 2.0, the Mangekyo gave
Okay,
him
according to the fourth database, Kamui does not require conscious activation. The Obito must deactivate it to attack or interact with physical matter.
Interesting. Called Kamui. With it, he can suck his foes into another dimension and leave them there to die. He can even hide weapons in there until he needs them, like his gun by fan. But even better, he can phase through stuff.
Well, not quite. Kamui gives Obito the power to move through objects in a manner that's similar to the common phasing superpower akin to the Flash or Kitty Pryde.
Cool.
In reality, it's much more complex, as Obito is actually teleporting parts of his body into the Kamui dimension whenever they overlap with other matter.
See,
there's his body parts right there.
Well, if it looks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's phasing. Heads up! Yeah! Way later on,
is that Vader Zim they showed in the background?
Man, he's really swapping these things around like a Prime sub on Twitch.
This Renegon grants Obito the power of the 6 paths, giving him some nifty abilities like controlling gravity with the Deva path, ripping out souls with the human path.
Because it is the Dave!
With all of the awful stuff
You watched-
he'd gone through,
you watched
Obito
Digimon
realized
Tamers,
that
right?
The ninja world was corrupt to its core. His
Yeah, I mean,
dream
it probably
of everyone
was.
being happy and working together was never gonna happen. So instead, he agreed to carry out Madara's Giga Brain plan to control everything.
Donning
Cool.
masks and multiple personas, he recruited a number of rogue shinobi to form the Akatsuki terrorist group and kicked off Ninja World War IV. All to revive
course.
the monstrous Ten Tails.
I know what you're thinking. Wasn't the whole point of this to stop war in the first place? And that's a very good question. Anyway, the Ten Tails!
A living mass of near inexhaustible chakra, the Ten Tails possesses tremendous power. It can create massive thunderstorms.
I'm
and
surprised they didn't make a
multiple clones
Senator
of itself,
Armstrong
and
reference.
The devastating tailed beast bomb.
Forget bomb. That's basically a super nuke. This chakra ball is so explosive, it can eclipse continents and reduce mountains to dust.
Okay, but that's not going to be anything to the ability to withstand the destruction of a planet.
Comparing the
Honestly.
surface area of this blast to the surrounding mountains, dispersing that much mass within a fraction of a second must have yielded a kinetic energy worth over 13 septillion tons of TNT.
That's 24 zeros.
Okay, so they both have 24 zeros.
Obito wanted that
I
power
was
for
gonna
himself
pause and
and
count
was
them.
willing to throw hands with anyone to get it. He's held up against master ninjas like Kakashi.
Okay.
Naito.
Other shinobi like Mifune, Haku, Itachi, etc. have examples of light speed as well. Obito also scales faster than Gaara's sand, which has significantly outpaced the Raikage. Would that be a lightning?
And even Naruto in his monster energy drink form, which could outmaneuver the fastest attack from the light speed Raikage.
And he far
Cool.
surpassed all of them when he finally sealed the Ten Tails within himself.
Oh,
Becoming
neat.
its Jinchuriki. This little
Okay, after observing the Ten Tails, Obito apparently lost the ability to pass through things with Kamui, likely due to his body's ninjutsu immunity. As in by Ten Tails Madara, however, Kamui can still be used in other ways. Okay, so he doesn't have that specific
will make Vader
ability.
grant them unlimited flight, power rivaling the legendary Sage of Six Paths, and the truth-seeking orbs.
These special little bowling balls can shapeshift into any
Okay.
form the user wants, like a staff, giant arms, an umbrella.
Someone mentioned that in Pokemon Masters, in the Cyrus's Darkrai event, his plan is essentially infinite Tsukiyomi. The whole, like, if everyone is in a dream, then they won't suffer sort of thing. So I learned a whole bunch of people on Passio just played Sleep Standing straight up.
Or this crazy spiral blade that apparently helped shape the whole world. Oh, holy shit, it's huge!
The truth-seeking orbs can completely disintegrate anything they touch, at
Neat.
both a molecular and
Okay, the orbs were compared to Onoki's particle style, which automatically dismantles matter and could damage Minato's soul, as shown after the reanimation jutsu's release.
spiritual
Okay.
level. Only those with the power of the Six Paths can resist their effects.
Plus, with the Mangle monster in his system, Obito's regeneration got amped to the point where he could survive having half of his body control Alt to lead it away. All cards in his
Cool.
hand, he was ready for the final stages of the Giga Plan.
He summoned the God Tree and prepared to launch the Infinite Tsukuyomi, a powerful illusion that would trap the entire world in a never-ending dream.
Okay, broke through the gate of the Great God, matched Kurama mode, Naruto, and Minato. That's what, okay. Survived atomizing half of himself. Extracted the Fourth Great Shinobi War, aided in fighting Kaguya Otsutsuki. Defeated Konan, Hisobu, Hiruzen, Tobirama, and Hashirama. Okay.
Free of conflict and sorrow.
But the violent cruelty of the ninja world could only quiver in fear when the anime protagonist walked in the room.
Yeah, that is how it works.
Some talk no jutsu, Obito saw within Naruto the spirit of his former self, someone who was always trying to help others. And they'd say his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Obito joined Naruto and Kakashi.
He's crying blood. He is Cyrus.
To protect his friends, and in his last moments, he entrusted them with reaching the dream he had so long ago. To become Hokage, of which they both succeeded.
Though he may have lost his ninja way, Obito Uchiha overcame his hatred and helped realize the world he wanted.
Cool. Alright, I am going to pause here. Alright, chili has been successfully stirred.
Right away.
Oh gosh, I would commission a Brandon Yates track, but it's so much. I mean, if you have, you know, $350 to spare, I'm sure it's fantastic.
I sense your fear, your anger, and a power. I will be taking it. That power will save this cursed world.
Yeah, good luck with that
You'll have to
fuckface.
pry it from my cold, dead hands. Then you will die.
Fight!
What? All too easy. I expected more.
It's moving around in him. You
Disappoint.
You would think that would clue Vader in that he didn't hit anything. Ooh, broke his war fan. So he can hold physical objects while he's in that form. There we go. Oh, and I'm betting on Vader for this just because I think his durability is a lot more. Wait, whose face was that supposed to be at first? Whose face did he initially see? Hey, I'm gonna rewind it a little. Yeah. I am clueless as to who that could be. Is that Starkiller? He's lost his eye before. That's a nice shot there with the glowing eye and the helmet. Oh!
Lost your humanity as well.
On the path of the dark side, it is inevitable.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Impressive.
Oh! Oh, yeah. The shades of Magneto. Oh, there we go. There's the tree.
No. This is inevitable.
They never animate the rings on those stabs in these battles. I mean, the last time we had that was a sprite battle, so it would have been difficult, but... Oh! Holy shit! And he can just grab that back. Oh! Ah! Remote piloting, there we go.
Accept this gift and die.
Too late.
Oh boy. Now, can he resist infinite Tsukiyomi? That is the question. Is he going to recognize it for the illusion it is, or is he not going to care?
You are liberated from hell. Find peace in the next life.
Ugh. But is that enough to stop the voice of a planet? See, his durability seems to be all over the
Vader may have
place.
been able to beat Obi-Wan, but he just
He can-
couldn't handle Obi-2.
This was a fairly complex matchup. Both Darth Vader and Obito.
So I just don't understand that. He can survive a planet exploding, but he can't survive having a giant vine dropped on him? I am very confused.
Power and speed, so it truly came down to their skill and arsenals.
And boy, did they have some deep bags of tricks. Even some of
And,
the same tricks.
okay. Could crush Obito's body and eyes. Could match or counter most jutsu. Superior precognition. Little defense against truth-seeking orbs. Inferior survivability. More versatile powers and options. Greater regeneration and survivability. Multiple ways to bypass Vader's durability. Really. Greater mobility and area of effect. And less combat experience.
Both
Yeah.
could fend off mental attacks. Both could move things around with their minds. And they both even had options to instantly kill each other.
Vader could simply
Okay, Anakin could resist the living force absorption of the Dark Reaper, but it required conscious use of a specific ability. Vader's spirit form taken in his attempt to resurrect Padme. Interesting, I didn't know he tried that. Required the use of Moments Portal as primarily a method of traversing a meditative vision. Okay.
force crush Obito's body, but Obito could just as easily rip out Vader's soul. However, Obito had
Cool.
a few more impressive
Oh, it's
options
Padme's
available to him,
face.
edging
That's...
out just enough to earn a
Okay.
win.
For starters, Kamui made Obito extremely difficult just to touch, let alone injure. And as a Jinchuriki, he could regenerate from...
While Vader resists mental attacks, this usually requires conscious resistance, and he has a history of giving in to sufficient temptation. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what made him Vader in the first place. The infant Tsukuyomi operates on a greater scale than what he's encountered and affected thousands whom? Shouldn't that be who? Resisted mental attacks. Also, I have the feeling at that point he just didn't care.
half of his body getting destroyed. While the dark side could help Vader survive extreme conditions, it obviously can't regrow limbs.
Plus, thanks to his wide array of jutsu, Obito would eventually overwhelm Vader. While chakra may normally be a limited source of energy, unlike the Force, the Ten Tails provided Obito with an unlimited
I
supply.
see.
And since chakra is both spiritual and physical energy, this means
Makes
Obito would
sense.
be able to fight on indefinitely.
Last but not least, Vader's preference for lightsaber combat means that he'd be up close and personal with Obito, right? Which left him vulnerable to getting disintegrated by one of the many truth-seeking orbs.
Well,
or even worse,
I feel like
sucked up
even
into
at a
the
distance
Kamui
that would
dimension.
happen.
Yeah, don't forget about that.
Okay, the Force
Not only
does
would he have
exist.
no way out,
Does exist across dimensions such as hyperspace, but Kamui is specifically disconnected from other realities and obviously not associated with the Star Wars universe, provided little reason to assume the Force would exist within it. Well, yeah.
he probably wouldn't even be able to tap into the Force while stuck there. Game over. Have fun
Really?
starving to death, I guess. Wonder how long you can feed on hate.
Darth Vader may have had a tenacity that few others could match, but against Obito's similar might, busted regeneration, and overwhelming range of abilities, there was no escape.
In the end, Vader's victory just wasn't meant to be.
The winner is Obito Uchiha. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We have a new death battle releasing.
Okay, come on. Try to frickin'.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We have a new
Okay,
death battle releasing every 2 weeks this year.
It keeps. Come on.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
Okay, Jason Momocha as Vader, and Nicholas Andrew Louis as Obito Uchiha. Okay. I mean, Vader sounded great. I don't know how Obito sounds in canon. So, he did a great job acting. Yeah.
We have a new death battle releasing every 2 weeks this year. And click the join button to get new perks
Okay,
and extra content.
That's
Play
No
level
Moon
members
was
can
the
see
name of
death
the
battles before
track.
anyone else, so don't miss out.
Oh, holy cheese! I've wondered who Phoenix should face. Oh, that's cool. Phoenix versus Raven. I wouldn't have thought Raven. Is Raven really? I know she's extremely powerful, especially when she's like White Raven or whatever she's called. But yeah, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. Whoo. I mean, it is yet another Marvel versus DC. We've already had one of those this season. Can we get a season without a Marvel versus DC fight, please? But it is interesting that they're actually using Phoenix. I remember Dark Phoenix was like one of the most OP characters. Little soda issue. You know, the old X-Men cartoon and stuff in the 90s. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a very interesting. The top comment is, didn't expect this matchup of all episodes to have a somewhat emotional ending. It almost seemed like Vader gave up just to have that illusion of his beloved. If someone can explain to me though how he can tank an exploding planet but then get bodied by the Emperor's lightning and then, you know, die to a vine falling on him, that would be really great, because it honestly did seem like the tipping point was that he just gave up. Like he didn't care if he died, he got to see Padme again. And that would make for a hell of an ending, but I don't think from a death battle perspective that that's what they were trying to imply. Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Just a moment. Come on now. Did you really think I'd talk about chili all episode and not let you see it? Yeah, there we go. It's actually 2:09 p.m. and I haven't eaten breakfast yet. So I am going to tuck into this chili and tell me in the comments what you thought of this episode. Tell me about if this means the Emperor and this god vine thing are stronger than an exploding planet. Like more, I mean, I hate to say force output, but not the force, but just plain force. Is that really more, you know, more blunt trauma? Well, not blunt trauma in the Emperor's case, because he was using his magic. Is it really more? Are the numbers bigger, basically? Because like I said, the only thing I could tell from that ending is that Vader just kind of gave up. Like he didn't care anymore because he saw Padme, and he probably knew it wasn't real, but he didn't care. He didn't care because he got to see her again. And in the end, isn't that what we all want out of life? No, it isn't. No, it isn't, because that's kind of what ruined his life, is his obsession with his wife and trying to maintain an extremely mature relationship that he was not emotionally prepared to handle, because he still kind of was extremely immature and probably still is very immature, even though he's almost 50. So, yeah,